Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. And it's dark outside because of the stupid time change. Don't you hate the stupid time change? Every year they arbitrarily set the clocks back or set the clocks forward and screw with everybody's internal clock. But enough of that. I am driving a 2016 VW Passat, which is one of my favorite cars in the midsize sedan segment. It's related to the Audi A6, and it shows. Of course, Volkswagen and Audi are the same company. The sad thing I have to report to you, though, is that the Passat, like all other current Volkswagen passenger cars, is for the indeterminate future not going to be available with the TDI diesel engine option. I'm doing this little video rant and my review in mid-March, and as of this moment, Volkswagen has not been able to come to terms with our friends at the EPA. Their diesels have not been certified for sale, and so they're not available for sale. So, right now, the only two engines that you can get in the Passat and all the other Volkswagen models are gas engines. This particular one that I've got has the 1.8 liter direct injection gas engine, which is a fine engine. No criticism of it or any other Volkswagen gas engines. And I love the Passat. It's a very classy, tasteful car. It has the ambiance of a higher end car. It's not a flashy car, but it's a very just solid and reputable looking car, if that makes any sense. But to get back to the diesel thing, thanks to Uncle and its arbitrary testing protocols, we don't get the diesels because Volkswagen cheated. Oh, the horror! Oh, the horror! But just to hip you to what that really means, which most of the major media guys will not hip you to, these tests are entirely arbitrary. They're conducted under certain conditions, and they design the cars to pass the test. It's kind of like standards of learning for cars. The broader question of whether the car actually significantly pollutes it's neither here nor there. It's a non sequitur. No modern car, whether it's a gas car or a diesel car, emits a significant amount of any kind of pollution. We've long since reached the point of diminishing returns with regard to that. 30 years ago, they could put on a catalytic converter, let's say, that added a couple $100 of cost to the car, but it curbed the tailpipe emissions by 50%, let's say, or more, and that's an approximate figure. Then along came fuel injection, and that also had a very significant gain for not that much cost. Well, we've gotten to the point now where we're dealing with incremental, very fractional decreases in tailpipe exhaust emissions. And something on the order of 95% of the tailpipe exhaust product is already clean as far as emissions are concerned. So they're going after that remaining 5%, 3%, whatever the actual number is, and they're going after fractions of those percents at ever-increasing cost. Well, VW realized that in order to pass these tests, it would have to do one of two things. It would either have to graft cost-adding technology to its cars, or have to adjust them such that the fuel economy would go down. And with diesels, that presents a real problem, because the whole point of buying a diesel really is that you're going to save money on fuel. But if the cost of buying the diesel is beyond a certain point, and if the diesel itself isn't efficient as it needs to be vis-a-vis the gas engine, well, then it's kind of hard to make the case for buying the diesel. So they decided to tune their cars so that they would pass the test, make Uncle happy, but then the rest of the time make customers happy. What a horrible thing. Make the customer happy. Well, anyway, someone knocked them out, someone found out about it, and that's what the hullabaloo is all about. And now Volkswagen is facing the prospect of having to crush 500,000 or more cars. Those are the ones already in circulation, because they've done the math and they've realized that in order to get them within spec, get them Uncle compliant, the modifications that are necessary are going to be so expensive, and not just expensive, but perhaps technically beyond the point of being reasonably doable, that it's just cheaper to crush the cars and buy them back. Give the customers a credit for a new car, give them their money back. And as far as the new ones go, who knows? you know, they've already been tarred in the public mind by all of this stuff that's been going on, which has been jumped on by the media. The media has not done a very good job at all of being fair to Volkswagen and really explaining to people what's at issue. So anyhow, here I am driving this Passat with the 1.8 liter engine, and if I could call up the mileage number for it, I would, but it's hard to drive and hold the camera at the same time. This thing will average in the mid-high 20s based on my previous experience, which is perfectly reasonable for you know, basically a nearly full-sized family sedan. This is one of the bigger cars in the mid-size segment. However, if you bought it with a diesel engine, which you can't right now, you'd have a car that would average in the mid-high 40s, potentially get 50 on the highway. I know this because I've driven these cars, and if you talk to people who've owned Volkswagen TDIs, they'll tell you the same thing. And it's just such a shame that engines like that perform so well and which use such little quantities of fuel have been vilified and effectively regulated out of the market by your friends in Washington, who are not your friends. Despite all the blather, that's the bottom line. They're telling you it's all about pollution. Well, what they're doing is taking away affordable diesels from you. If you want to know more, just come on over to epautos.com. You'll find some articles that explain that in some greater depth. Anyway, we thank you for viewing, and we will catch up with you next time.